the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or Iglesianicristo.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to INCRadio Florida. I'm one of your hosts today, Brother Robert Topalis, here in, I would say, semi-sunny South Florida. I'm going to use those exact words, semi-sunny South Florida, because today it's a little bit of clouds, a little bit of sun, but ironically, in today's topic, as you could see there on the bottom, we're going to be talking about what is our favorite time of day? What is our golden hour? And of course, before we do that, we have some international greetings to throw to you. But today is Saturday, the 18th of January. It's a little bit past 9:30 in the morning here on the East Coast of the United States, which means it's a little later in the evening there in the Philippines. But thank you so much for staying up to watch us. And we hope today you're going to learn a lot. We've got another quiz.
If you're just listening or tuning in, we want to hear from you. So make sure that you say hello to us on our YouTube chat right there.
Yes, please. We love to hear from all of you when we engage, and we love to give shout outs. And of course, we want you in the YouTube chat to participate in our weekly brain teasers, because as you know, we explained before, we're going to be gathering all of those points, accumulating them. I can already tell you that we've got a clear leader in engagement, but I'm not going to mention any names, but we've got a clear leader in engagement answering those questions. So please continue to answer those questions. And we'd love to hear from you, especially today's topic, because we want to know your opinions on whether or not you are a sunrise person or a sunset person. Which is your golden hour? And for our photographers out there, you know what I mean by golden hour, right? That's the time when it is the most optimal opportunity for you to take photos, because the lighting is just perfect, and it's usually a sunrise or what they call dusk or sunset. And we're just going to dive into the topic, because I think that this is a very polarizing question, Sister Joy. And Kuitek, if you could put us in grid, we'd like to go ahead and have our conversation today about which is it that you would prefer. Do you prefer sunrises or do you prefer sunsets? And I know that I have my own very personal opinion on what my preference would be between the two of them, which of course, that's the beauty of living here in Florida, is that regardless of which you prefer, you can enjoy your fill of both of them, right? I mean, Sister Joy,
I love golden hour. That is just like the perfect way, because whether you're sunrise or whether you're sunset, truly is a golden.
Yeah. And the thing that's beautiful about it is that, here in Florida, and we talked about this last week, actually, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago, where there's not very many places in the country where you can
Mhm.
experience, as you see in the graphic, the sun rising or the sun setting into the ocean
Mhm.
without having to jump on a plane to see it, right? Because you
That
literally can just drive across the state to be able to see that. And when you do it, you could be on the east coast of the state and actually witness one of them, and then you could be on the west coast of the state and witness the other. So, but what we're talking about are the preferences. So let's
Mhm.
start off by asking. We'll just go down the list first, and welcome Sister Charisse from Pensacola, which I can't help but notice that really does look like a sunrise behind you. I'm not.
Well, it's funny because I went on a walk this morning trying to catch some pictures of sunrises, and that's why I got caught out in the rain because there were no sun. There
You were
were
trying to take pictures of a sunrise in the rain.
no pictures, but that's okay because we have an assortment of beautiful pictures plus my backdrop. That's why I'm
Yeah.
late. I got caught in the rain and had to run the last half mile. So that's
Oh
fine.
well, you're not even out of breath. So look at that. You're in phenomenal shape, Sister Charisse. Well,
There you go. Isn't that a
so
sunshine fan right there?
It
yeah,
is. And
yeah,
I'm
it's just,
keeping to my resolutions. Remember our episode about
Look
working
at
yeah.
out?
that.
So I didn't quit.
Love
Well,
it.
and see, and the nice thing is that she comes on, and regardless of being caught in the rain, still very bright, perky, and positive. You know what I call that? That's a sunshine state of mind.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a sunshine state of mind.
And only
So,
here, y'all, only here can you get the sunshine state of mind. Look at that.
so let's start off with Sister Audrey. Are you a sunrise or sunset person?
It was so hard because growing up in Jacksonville, I was on the east coast of Florida. I was definitely a sunrise girl, but Tampa Bay has changed my mind. The Gulf
Really?
Coast has absolutely changed my mind, and sunsets are just here, especially are breathtaking. So
So here's your
definitely a
sunsets.
sunset kind of girl now.
So you're a sunset convert is what we're going to call you, right?
Correct.
All right. So let's move on. Sister Joy, are you a sunrise or a sunset person?
I am a sunset person. I enjoy the sunrise. I think it's beautiful, but I actually prefer to sleep in a little bit, and I like the sunset for many
I
many
appreciate the honesty of
100%
sunrises.
transparency right here.
They take a lot of work. I'll tell you that from personal experience. Sunrises take a lot of work. So what is it about the sunsets, aside from the fact that you get to sleep in to experience it, but what is it about the sunsets that make that your preference?
I think you kind of hit on that a little bit. Sunrise, I guess in the season of life that I'm in, with a young family, sunrise is beautiful.
Season of life. You made yourself sound like you're retiring.
Oh no, not at all. I have a young family. But with a young family, getting ready for a sunrise or even trying to escape to watch a sunrise, which is why my hat goes off to you, Sister Charisse, for getting out there, sticking to your resolution. But I enjoyed the sunset. It's just that's my like golden hour, the golden hour for me.
Yeah.
And I like to eat a nice, good dinner with the sunset. It's just
Watching the sunset.
yeah, that's just my thing. I think it's just more of the time of day in this season. It might change, maybe when the kids get a little older. So we'll see. But
When they're willing to get up higher,
there
get
you
up
go.
earlier, rather.
maybe.
All right. Well, so we've got 2 votes for sunset. What about you, Sister Charisse? I don't know. Maybe you've already kind of foreshadowed that by getting up early this morning. Are you a sunrise? You prefer sunrises or sunsets?
I love them both, but I feel with Sister Joy because, living here like near the beach, and I only live like 20 minutes from the beach. So I do love a good sunrise and sunset on the beach. But I mean, I feel like it's the best of both because it's like, irregardless, you still see the beauty of like the sun, coming up above or rising down below. So, I mean, I guess it depends if you're like a morning person, like Sister Joy said, if you want to wake up early to enjoy a good sunrise. But I mean, I do enjoy both. It just depends on whether or not I'm willing to get up early enough to see a sunrise. But for the most part, when we do our beach trips, we like to stay until the sun sets because it is very beautiful, and then take beautiful pictures like the ones you have here. So
yeah, well,
I love both.
especially there in Pensacola. I mean, that area down there with the white sandy beaches, and I think it's something with the white sand that we have here in Florida that just makes the sunrises just so much more spectacular. Do you have a favorite place there? Favorite spot to catch your sunsets when you're up there in Pensacola?
Let's see, my favorite place. Well, it has to be. Is even though like on our way there, if we're even running late, as long as we're over the bridge, like I said, the water and just seeing like the sun rise above it, it's still so beautiful. So anywhere near the water or near the beach, I have to say, is my favorite spots to enjoy it. But then even brother Eric loves a good, I think he's a sunset person, because he loves when like my backdrop, how it's the pink skies.
Right.
Brother Eric, every time he's like, "Hey, take your camera out and take a picture. It's beautiful." Like he loves a good pink sky. I don't know. So I think
it's
Yeah,
seeing
all
all
those
that.
different views. Yeah, good one.
Well, you know, it's funny when I'm such a fanatic for both sunrises and sunsets, and a long time ago when we still lived in California, it's funny, we would be driving down like Pacific Coast Highway going down towards San Diego, and you get to see the sunset going into the Pacific Ocean over there. And there were times when we'd be like driving and we're in a rush to go to San Diego or someplace down south, where the sunset's just so beautiful that I would literally pull over and get in trouble for having to pull over to take a picture of the sunset off of the Pacific Coast Highway. That's like my obsession of seeing the beautiful colors and everything else. But it looks like I'm the holdout because I prefer sunrises. Now, I will tell you that it's probably because I'm an early riser, one, and it just happens to be a benefit of my routine of biking early in the morning. So I go out at like 5, 6 in the morning. It's just natural that I'm going to catch some of the most beautiful sunrises when I'm biking along the coast there on Bayshore. A couple of these shots that we see here. So like each of these shots, and mind you, I want to tell our audience, none of these are filtered. These are every one of these photos are 100% exactly as they are taken, with no filtering and no editing done, right? So like this one here is St. Pete. So if you come out to St. Pete, go out to the St. Pete Pier, and you can catch one of the most spectacular sunrises from the pier, just rising out of the water. This middle one here is actually off of Bayshore and the sun rising above the city of Tampa. Down here is Safety Harbor, which is another beautiful place. Down here, Safety Harbor that faces the bay. And this one always reminds me of Hawaii because of the tall palm trees and everything else, right? It makes you think you're in Hawaii. This is actually North Shore Beach in St. Pete, where you can watch. And in each of these, and I didn't get to set it up here, but in each of these, I would set a time-lapse camera to actually catch the time lapse of the photo of the sun rising out of the water. And this one here is just me. I literally took this one while I was biking up here in the Starkey. And no, I didn't hit anything while I was doing it. Kept one hand on the handlebar. And then just, these are just some beautiful shots of the sunrises. And the Courtney Campbell Bridge, for anyone that comes to Tampa, the Courtney Campbell Bridge sunrise over the city of Tampa that you see here is just spectacular. It's a walking bridge. It's a walking bridge that you can walk up to the top of it. Now, the sunset photos that you guys obviously are all fans of, because you don't have to get up at a ridiculous hour to be able to catch it, and you get to eat a good meal. I forgot about that, Sister Joy, that sitting there and being able to enjoy a meal, because most restaurants aren't open when I'm catching a sunrise, unfortunately. So
had to do with food,
Yeah. Sunrise. These are some of our favorite spots down here. These are along the west coast of Florida. So as you can see here, this is, I think, Indian Rocks Beach. Sister Audrey and her family up here. This is down in St. Pete Beach area. That's Sister Kat, my daughter, and I. This one here is a little hidden beach. So if you guys come down here to St. Pete and Clearwater and want to avoid all the crowds, there's a little beach in the very southernmost point of the St. Pete area called Pass-a-Grille. And if you go there, that place has some of the most spectacular sunsets, but this one happened to be, this was the sunset. They actually have a little ceremony that they do at the sunset period where the mayor of Paso Grill rings a bell, and the entire community, I mean, you'll go out there at sunset and see hundreds of people just lined up, and it is so quiet you can hear a pin drop that at sunset, and then the mayor of the town of Paso Grill will ring the bell and at sunset, and this was a surreal experience just to be able to watch that. And down here, Brother Manley, our executive producer, apparently also a sunset lover. So a shout out to Brother Manley and Daya, our executive producer. He sent us this photo. I feel like I work on a weather channel. And, our viewer sent us this photo of a sunset, and
it's interesting because a lot of our viewers actually chimed in, and it's nice to hear what some of them have said. Brother Michael Robinson, he said this is an interesting one. He said, sunsets. Oh, I lost it here. Sunsets are my caffeine, and sunrises are my caffeine, and sunsets are my melatonin. I like
that 100%. And thank you, Brother Mike, for giving us the next topic, because we were going to talk about what is it about these different events, the sunrise or the sunset, and what are the moods and what's a symbolism for many of them, right? So, because generally speaking, most people associate sunrises with new beginnings and renewal, right? For me, it's because that's how I start my day. By going off on, getting on a bike ride and catching a sunrise kind of gives you this impression that, it's the way that I'm starting off the day. It's on a positive note. And then now I can face the rest of the day. But with sunsets, it's kind of closure, right? For so many people, they look at it as a way for reflection and tranquility, and it's kind of the end of the day. So very much to what Brother Mike's point is, you've got the caffeine in the morning because it gets you all energized, pumped up, so you can hit your day literally running. And then the sunset is when things kind of tone down and relax, enjoy that meal while you're watching the sunset, right, Sister Joy?
Absolutely, 100%.
And then go to sleep. So
there you go. Sister Aika said the same thing in our chat. She said, I love both seeing the sunrise and seeing them and seeing the morning start, and the sunset to the end of the day feels therapeutic.
Oh, yeah. And I think for mental health, for a lot of people, being able to do that helps you to go into this sort of state of self-reflection, because, if you're there and just focusing on the sunset, it kind of helps you to kind of relax. And I'm sure there's got to be some biological and chemical exchanges that are happening during that to help you kind of relax, because they're just so relaxing just to sit there and to watch it without having to even talk to anybody. Just sit there and just watching it just really puts you in a great state of mind, right? And I think a lot of people also realize that during the sunset periods, they tend to feel a lot more capable of relaxing and going to bed afterwards, versus the sunrise. So we want to jump into really quick, because we want to give people time to answer our questions now that we've gotten our preferences out of the way. And apparently I'm in the minority here, but I'm going to convert a couple of you. But Sister Audrey, you were a sunrise person, like you said before. And when you were living there in Jax, was there a favorite place that you would want to go see? Let's say if we got people visiting Jacksonville, where could they catch a good sunrise?
Oh yeah. Jax Beach is always very popular just because it's right there in downtown. I'm the same way with our hidden gem of Paso Grill here in the Tampa Bay, St. Pete area. I like to be in a place where it's calm and it's not super crowded. So my family and I had a little spot up there more north of Jax Beach. So in that Atlantic Beach area. I already forgot the name because it's been so long, but it's a hidden pathway where you can go onto the beach, and it's undisturbed sand. I mean, just because this is the back of residential homes that are up there in the beaches area. So can't put my finger on it. I've got it pinned on my Google Maps and my Apple Maps, but
you gotta share. Yeah. And this is accessible to everyone? to like
Yeah,
the public?
they have public parking. It's just so hidden because you're truly, you would need a local to find that parking spot because it's in between homes and it's like hidden within a neighborhood.
Nice.
So now you're hearing all these hidden secrets, and now they're not going to be uncrowded. So,
Well, I haven't.
sorry to the residents of Paso Grill. But and that's the thing. There's so many hundreds and hundreds of miles of beach here in Florida, both on the east and the west coast, that it won't take a lot for you to be able to find your own little special place. And but just a word of advice: if you come here in the spring and are looking for an opportunity to have a nice, quiet, serene sunset, don't go to Clearwater.
Or do go to Clearwater.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. That way they'll stay away from Paso Grill. Well, why don't we start with our very first question of the day? Let's do this. All right. And we're going to do this a little different. We're going to be giving you the answers right afterwards. So the first question is, from what direction does the sun set? Does it set in the west, A, B, the north, C, the east, or D, the south? So from which direction does the sun set? Is it from A, west, B, north, C, east, or D, south? And this is going to be a real test for those who are directionally challenged. So while we're waiting for them,
Normally me.
I got to ask a question though. Like, if someone were to tell you, Sister Joy, you were asking for direction someplace, and they told you in your car, it says, well, yeah, go down 2 blocks and then head west until you get to so-and-so street. Would you know what that meant?
Yes, I do. I'm directionally challenged. However, I need street names, not 7-Elevens or gas station, restaurants. Yeah, I need street names.
So like just naturally, if somebody were to tell you they're going west or east or north, are you comfortable with that? Or do you want them to tell you right or left or, straight ahead?
Good question. I like street names, but if you tell me west or east, then I'm I have to reflect on the sun. That's exactly what I have to do. I'm like, okay, which side did the sun rise? Okay, that must be east. And fortunately here in Florida, I can think of that, right? Because I'm like, okay, that's where.
In which direction? Okay. So what about you, Sister Cherise?
Sister Joy sounds like
she needs a compass.
Compasses. Yeah.
She needs a compass. She needs a compass. Yeah, exactly. What about you, Sister Cherise? Are you comfortable with hearing like when people, because I know like if I tell my wife west, east, north, or whatever, I'll get that look of better. If I say go west,
I gotta like feel the wind. Where's the wind blowing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right
it's going to be right or left, and not east, west, north, or south. So what about, I mean, you ride bikes. So do you feel comfortable with being given an east-west direction, or do you have to be told left, right?
I have to be told left or right, and I have to be told like street names. I go by street names too. I think a lot of people go like, they'll say like, Route 90. What is Route 90? I only know it by its name. I only know interstate by numbers. And then if you're like, oh yeah, Route 29, what is that? Is there a name for this? Because I don't know.
You know why? I'll tell you.
Less than having names.
I'll tell you a little secret. You know why they use the state road names, like State Route 90 or 589 or whatever? Because in Florida, they're infamous for street names changing. So like you'll be traveling on a certain street,
I realize that.
And then they change. But the one thing that doesn't change is the state road name. So it'll be State Road 589 for 50 miles, but it'll change names like 6 times. So that's why they use state road names.
Is that why I'm directionally challenged? I'm, Florida grown.
They're changing it up on you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. All right. I think we've got enough. Did we get enough people answering the question there, Sister Joy?
We sure do.
Okay, so from which direction does the sun set? The correct answer is the sun sets on the west.
Yes.
Right? A, west, because that's why us here in Tampa on the west coast of Florida get to enjoy all of these beautiful sunsets. So the sun sets on the west. Okay, let's go quickly to the next one. Why does the sky turn red during sunset? Is it E,
Ooh.
because it bounces off the water? Is it the blue light that gets scattered? There's a switch that somebody flips. Or is it H, the atmospheric gas that causes the sky to turn red? So is it E, bounces off the water, F, the blue light scattered, there's a switch that somebody flips, G, or H, the atmospheric gas causes it to turn red? All right. We'll give everybody just a couple seconds to do that. And if anyone answers G, there's a switch that someone's flipped, we'll need to have a conversation.
I admit it. It's me. It's always been me.
I'll give you I'll send
I'm
you
the
a
one
mug
flipping
just
it.
because if you answered G, okay? But why does the sky turn red at sunset? Is it because it bounces off the water, the blue light scattered, or the atmospheric gas? What is we have enough people answering there, Sister Joy?
I think we need a little bit more time there.
There. Okay,
A
we've
little
got 3 minutes left in our fastest 30 minutes on radio.
Oh, and it goes by quick.
Yeah. Well, especially if you get Floridians talking about the sun
There you
period, right?
You know
It's
what?
a
I have to make a quick shout out to Sister Arnie. You know, she said that she is definitely a sunset person, but she also likes sunrises. But shout out to her, because if she's a sunset person, she made it early to say hello on our YouTube chat. So thank you.
That's right. She definitely is a sunrise person, you know? She's got to be. She's a closet sunrise person. That's what we're going to, Sister Arnie. All right. So the right answer, we're going to have to give that away, is going to be F. The blue light is scattered. And for you science geeks out there, here's the explanation. All right. So in the middle of the day, the sun's traveling a shorter distance, which means both the blue light and the reds and the yellows are all kind of combined. So you don't really get to see that separation. But at sunset, what you'll notice is that the blue light, which is a shorter refraction, all of my science geeks out there will know what I'm talking about, it dissipates, it breaks up. And the only thing you can see, as you can see in the graph, are the reds and the yellows. And that's why the sky looks red when it's sunset, because now as the sun comes down, it's going through more of the atmosphere and it's breaking up all of that blue light. So sorry to disappoint you. There is nobody flipping a switch to make it turn red.
For Audrey. No,
Yeah, it's not a smart light. All right, the last question. Where is the first place on Earth that you can see sunrise every day? So if you could see sunrise every single day, first, before everybody else, where on Earth would that be? Is it I, the Solomon Islands, J, Guam, K, Caroline Island, or L, Galapagos? One of these places is where you could live and watch the sunrise before everybody else. It's where I would want to be, you know, because then at that point I wouldn't have to get up so early. Or maybe I do. I'm not sure. So where would that first place be? But of all of these places, though, where would you guys want to live?
Ooh.
I've never been to any of them.
You've never been to any of them?
I would need to get a taste first.
Well, we're going to give a shout out to one of our former hosts, Sister Marisol Sullivan. Mm-hmm. Sister Marisol Sullivan now lives in Guam, right? We miss you, Sister Marisol. And you tell us, are you seeing the sunrise before everybody else out there in Guam?
Yeah. I will say she's been her shout out to her and brother Neil, her new husband. But they've been sending us some beautiful both sunrise and sunset
photos because you live on an island, right? So all right. Well, we're down to the last minute of the show, so we're going to have to break the answer, and the correct answer is Caroline Island. Caroline Island is out in the middle of the South Pacific. If you notice here on the bottom, it's by where the Cook Islands are, southern Polynesia, and it is a small, tiny island, but it has the distinction of being the place where you can see the sunrise before the rest of the planet. So, well, this was a lot of fun. We love hearing the opinions from everybody. We're down to the top of the hour. Of course, our friends over at South Central States are coming up next. So for Brother Robert here in Tampa, for Sister Joy that's there in Orlando, for Sister Audrey there in Tampa as well, and for our friend there in Pensacola, Sister Charisse, good morning to everyone. Have a happy day, and please stay blessed. We'll see you next Saturday on INCRadio, and just keep that sunshine state of mind going.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.